شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتو یې پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا
In the name of Allah, good evening and welcome to this hour's news. I'm Suleiman Talash and this is RTA News. Today is 20th of September 2024. Maulavi Abdul Salam Hanafi, Administrative Deputy of the Prime Minister, met with the Deputy Head of the United Nations Mission in Afghanistan. In this meeting, the UN representative said that the UN wants to continue assistance to the people of Afghanistan in the fields of health, education, food security, strengthening the private banking system, agriculture, environmental protection, and fighting climate change. He expects the leadership of the Islamic Emirate to cooperate fully in delivering these aids to the deserving people. In contrast, the Administrative Deputy of the Prime Minister said that the leadership of the Islamic Emirate has made all its efforts in the field of economic growth, creating job opportunities for youth, and implementing development projects in different regions, and requests aid organizations to create more jobs, alternative cultivation of drugs for farmers, and to cooperate different parts with the Afghan nation. Khalilur Rahman Haqqani, Minister of Refugees and Repatriations, met with Mardif Al-Qashuti, Qatar ambassador to Kabul, to discuss assistance to refugees and internally displaced people in the shelter, health, and education sectors. During the meeting, the ambassador of Qatar said that he will continue his efforts to attract more humanitarian aid for Afghan refugees. While the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, OCHA, and the World Food Programme are talking about the lack of funds in terms of providing aid to the needy people in Afghanistan, the European Union and the United Kingdom have recently provided more than $35 million of humanitarian aid has been provided. In addition to this, the officials of the Islamic Emirate, besides thanking the supporting organizations, asked them to help Afghans in development sector instead of giving aid, so that people can get jobs and become self-sufficient. Let's see more in this report.
In the past 3 years, many welfare foundations and organizations have provided humanitarian aid to Afghans in the center and provinces. Some of them say that they are facing with a shortage of funds and cannot provide aid to all needy people. But officials say that these organizations should start development work in Afghanistan in order to provide Afghans with a settlement and employment.
Our request from the aid organizations is that instead of humanitarian aid in cash, they should help us in creating jobs and infrastructure projects so that we can eradicate poverty and economic problems in Afghanistan and continue to grow and help the economic development of our country.
On the other hand, experts are also calling on the supporting organizations to help Afghans in vocational and exploratory fields instead of economic and cash aid, saying that they will be able to fulfill their needs in this way.
Now that corruption has been eliminated, the government should closely monitor the aid in order to prevent corruption or its reoccurrence.
According to OCHA, or the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Aid, in the past few years, Britain has provided more than £204 million of aid to Afghanistan, and the European Union has also sent about 1,900 of different humanitarian aid to Afghanistan since 2021.
Nuruddin Azizi, Minister of Industry and Commerce, met with Maulavi Hayatullah Mahajir Farahi, Deputy Minister of Information and Culture and Deputy Governor of Herat Province, and discussed the political work of major economic and industrial projects, including a new industrial town in this province. On the other hand, Mr. Farahi said that the inauguration of new projects, including Afghan-Turkmen joint projects, construction of international terminal, and construction of new industrial town in Herat, will make this province a commercial and industrial center in Afghanistan and will pave the way to economic growth. Under the leadership of Mullah Khairullah Khairkhwa, the Minister of Information and Culture, an administrative meeting was held with the participation of the deputy heads and directors of this ministry. The ministry said that in this meeting, in addition to the development of tourism industry, the safety of tourists, and the provision of facilities by increasing the attention to the broadcasting sector and by working to share the achievements to keep alive the past jihadi process and history, in order to increase the attention to museums and related historical sites and artifacts, and to increase the religious knowledge of the employees by the Department of Invitation, it has been discussed. The Ministry of Industry and Commerce says that in the first 5 months of 1403, 117,000 tons of marble worth $6.1 million were exported to Turkey, Saudi Arabia, India, Pakistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Russia, Mexico, and China. Furthermore, the Marble Exporters Association says that they have become self-sufficient in the production of marble, and with the arrival of the Islamic Emirate, the export of Afghanistan's marble increased to European markets as well as Central and South Asia. More details in report.
The precious marble stones, which are used to beautify buildings, are internationally famous in Helmand, Herat, and Kunar, along with the central zones of Afghanistan. The Ministry of Industry and Commerce says that in the first 5 months of this year, marbles worth $6.1 million have been exported to international markets.
Marble exports worth $6.1 million with a total of 117,000 tons to Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Turkmenistan, India, Germany, Russia, Uzbekistan, China, Mexico, Pakistan, and other countries has taken place.
On the other hand, the Afghanistan Marble Exporters Association says that it has met the domestic market's needs in terms of marble production, and in the last 3 years, the number of customers of Afghanistan's marble has increased internationally and the level of exports has increased.
In the previous government, most of our products were smuggled abroad. But with the arrival of the Islamic Emirate and with the neighboring countries where exhibitions were held and our domestic products were shown, the interest of the neighboring countries in our marble stone increased. Central Asia as a whole is interested in our Herat marble. Even though Iran exports marble, it demands marble from us. Even in the Italian exhibition that our friends shared, Italy, despite being the best and richest country in the world in terms of marble, demanded our Herat marble and Helmand marble.
According to the information of the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, there are currently 108 marble stone processing and production factories operating across the country, 85 of which are located in the capital of Afghanistan.
Mullah Abdul Latif Mansour, Minister of Energy and Water, in a meeting with the tribal leaders of Uruzgan Chinartoi district, said that the construction of Aghajan and Shaflog dams will be started soon in this province. Mr. Mansour has assured the tribal leaders of the mentioned district that the solar power project to Uruzgan province and the power supply project for Kajaki Dam are included in the plan of this ministry, which will be started in the future. Sheikh Abdul Hakim Haqqani, Deputy Minister of Mothers and Disabled Affairs, visited Coast Province and met with the families of mothers and orphans, where he assured them that their problems would be addressed. In this meeting, the Deputy Minister of Mothers and Disabled Affairs considered providing services to the heirs of mothers and disabled people, timely addressing their problems and greeting them as one of the responsibilities of the Islamic Emirate. The leadership of the ministry is trying to provide them with the necessary living facilities in all sectors. And the final one is that the Ministry of National Defense has said that in the educational center of 201 Khalid bin Walid Corps, 1,000 officers in Mujahideen of the Islamic National Army have been given Islamic military, moral and professional education in the 6th period named Alaikum Bil Jihad. That's all for tonight. Thank you so much for watching.